The success of your YouTube content often relies on the quality of your script. Informative and easy to follow content grabs the viewer's attention and it's what makes them stay, but script writing is easier said than done. We are now moving into the era of AI and many will try to take advantage of it, but there are do's and don'ts when it comes to this subject. In today's video, we would like to discuss what those are and provide you with knowledge that will help you streamline the content creation process while avoiding the risks of having your YouTube channel demonetized. Just as AI is making big leaps forward, YouTube is also getting better at recognizing artificial and spam content, therefore we can expect their policies to adapt as well. YouTube will always prefer their content creators to provide authentic and original content rather than something that can be achieved through automating the process fully. To further examine this topic, we will have to familiarize ourselves with the current YouTube policies regarding monetization, just so we don't end up on the wrong side of the platform as it comes with severe consequences. The list of policies is not too extensive and is made easy to understand, therefore we would recommend you fully read it at your own time. You can find a link for it in the description, but do not worry, we will also cover the most important aspects of it later in this video. So, what AI tools should you consider to help you with your script writing? Well, if you haven't heard of or paid attention to GPT, you must have been living under a rock. It's an amazing tool to have at your disposal as a content creator, and it would be outright wrong not to utilize it. If you'd like a quick summary of what it can do for you as a content creator, be sure to check out our previous video which explains it in detail. Anyway, ChatGPT can be used to your advantage, but should not be solely relied on, as Google has the ability to detect it straight away. And guess what happens after? You should instead use ChatGPT wisely. Do not just copy and paste what it says. ChatGPT leaves a signature and flags its own content as being AI written. This was confirmed by the developers themselves. Of course, there are a couple of ways to get around this. Your first grey zone solution, and you are walking a thin line here, is to spin the content through other AI writing tools such as Quillbot, or to simply rewrite the article that was generated for you by ChatGPT. Quillbot can rephrase and change any text that it has been given, and it does not leave a signature, but again, you must still be very careful when using it for YouTube content. If you have other use cases for it, such as your studies or your coursework, it works wonders of course, and I wish it was around when I was doing my degree. Another walk in a tightrope, but perhaps a little safer solution is to use Jasper AI. This tool can write you scripts without flagging its own content, and it is optimized for script writing, plus all of its written content is fully plagiarism free. Large corporations have been using Jasper AI for years now, and it seems to work great for just about any use case and within any context. If you are planning on creating YouTube content long term, we would recommend checking if your content is being recognized as being AI written. The platform might not like this, and monetization policies are always subject to change, therefore remain on the safe side and here's a tool to help you do so. Have a look at zerogpt.com. This tool is able to recognize AI written content with 98% accuracy, which in theory should keep you covered, but 98% is not quite 100%. Therefore, you are still leaving yourself exposed to potential risks. Cutting corners with YouTube was definitely possible before, but it will get increasingly more difficult to use YouTube as a cash cow with low effort videos. Let's have a look at the current Google policies for AI automated content. They are always subject to change, therefore just keep an eye out for any updates. Currently, Google, and therefore YouTube's claim is that their ranking systems aim to reward original and high quality, therefore high effort content. Their acronym for this is EEAT, which stands for expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Google understands that times are changing and the industry is moving forward, therefore there will be changes in how content is made, but they want to keep rewarding original and informative rather than automated and repetitive content, which they consider to be a violation of their spam policies. They have years of experience dealing with spam content, but also recognize that automation and AI tools can be used to generate helpful content, with AI having the ability to power new levels of expression and creativity, as mentioned by themselves. We particularly liked their answer to one of the questions in the FAO section, which sums up their stance on this quite well. If you're looking at AI as inexpensive and an easier way to game the search engine rankings, do not use AI. If you were to visit YouTube's policy list, here's what it says. Repetitious content refers to channels where the content is so similar, viewers may have trouble spotting the difference between videos on the same channel. This policy applies to your channel as a whole. In other words, if you have many videos that violate YouTube's guidelines, monetization may be removed from your entire channel. We have started seeing more and more channels that seem to be ignoring this point, and we expect them to be demonetized going forward. But of course, that all depends on where YouTube decides to draw the line. YouTube allows monetizing content that offers its viewers something appealing and interesting to watch, and the content must be different from video to video, with the substance of each video being relatively varied. Some things can be kept the same, for example your intros and outros, but anything in between these two must be unique and different every time. In the examples of what is not allowed to be monetized, the policy specifies that you can't rely on content that doesn't have your spin on it. You are not allowed to just simply read out text from websites, which technically is using AI script writing tools. This means you can't just do your own voiceover for a script that was generated solely by ChatGPT or another AI-based chatbot. Of course, there are grey zone workarounds for that to an extent, as we discussed earlier. Another important point to pay attention to is the Creator Integrity tab. You are not allowed to impersonate or to pretend to be someone else, and do not even try to artificially inflate your channel traffic in any way, as that will get you nowhere. You must comply with the YouTube's monetization policies, or else they can take the following actions against you. They can withhold or adjust revenues or payments, limit ad revenue from your videos, suspend your participation in the YouTube Partner Program, or suspend or even terminate your YouTube channel. We know it's a cliche saying, but it really applies here. Honesty is your best policy, and that is how we would recommend you look at automating YouTube content creation. Having gone through all the policies, we can see that Google and YouTube do not have an issue with AI being incorporated into the content creation process, but it may be useful to go over how it should be used correctly without landing you in trouble. So let's do that now. Just use it as your personal assistant. It is so clever and sometimes it's even freaky how much it knows, but hey, that just works in your favour. ChatGPT, for example, can increase your speed of writing, summarize information, and you can ask for your sentences to be rewritten in a more engaging manner. We asked ChatGPT what the most popular sport on earth is, and it claimed that football, or as Americans for whatever reason call it, soccer, is the answer. While this is still true in this case, be sure to fact check it, as it only has web access to 2021, therefore it could have changed. By simply asking this question, it saved us time that would have otherwise been spent on research. We then asked to provide reasons as to why football is so popular, for which it provided some rather solid arguments. To then make it more appealing to the viewer, we asked ChatGPT to write us a short and engaging pitch for why football is so popular. Here's what it came up with. Feel free to pause the video now if you would like to read it. Honestly, it would have taken us a long time to come up with a better pitch ourselves. Thankfully, we had some help. Now, to avoid getting into trouble, we will rewrite this into our own words, which is what we would recommend doing. Here's how it went. Football is watched all over the world for a reason. It does not care about your social status, where you come from, or what you do. Once you're on that pitch, we're all equal. It's a game that brings people of all backgrounds, cultures, and countries together. Whether it's played in the streets of favelas, or in the world-renowned stadium spectated by thousands, one thing remains a constant. The love and passion for the game is always there. So many iconic moments, so much skill and drama involved. Whether you're a casual observer or a die-hard supporter, football is there for everyone. Feel a sense of community and embrace yourself into what this beautiful game has to offer. So that was an example of how ChatGPT can be used to your advantage. We've gone through a few steps that allowed us to skip doing research, the platform gave us ideas, and a starting point to write a short pitch that is engaging and informative. This way of doing things also keeps the content you just created authentic, and you've just added your own spin to it, giving YouTube no reason to suspend or demonetize your account.